everyone, Adrian from Audio Excellence in Canada. Today we've got a treat. What does a Nagra $32,500 set of amplifiers look like? So these are the Nagra VPA, V like Victor, P like Peter, A like Apple. The original amplifier came out, I want to say, about 1998. And this is the latest version. And the way you can tell is that the latest version has both RCA and XLR inputs. This particular pair is approximately 8 to 10 years old. One original owner. Client has loved it so much. In fact, he's had two pairs and likes it that much. And it's here for sale because he just recently upgraded. Anyway, so mint condition. I'll just go through some of the background of Nagra and what this particular pair of amplifiers is all about. Nagra's been around for now about 70 years, 1951, made in Switzerland. They're most known for their audio recorders, like tape recorders back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and the DAT recorders and so on. But actually, they're really well known in the professional world, in the industrial world, as well as in the governmental world, like spy world, believe it or not. As is typical of a lot of Swiss products, they are incredibly overbuilt. All slabs of CNC aluminum. When you touch the switches, it's got this beautiful mix of solidity as well as luxury. It's simultaneously very sexy and at the same time very industrial looking. So anyway, we'll go through some of the features in a bit. This amplifier is rated at 50 watts per channel. The output tubes are 845s, and then inside there are two additional tubes. One is a ECC82 or 12AU7 and ECC83 or 12AX7, rated at 50 watts per channel. I don't know if I already mentioned that. By the way, Nagra has won 3 Oscars and 1 Emmy, which is quite interesting. Fully balanced from input all the way to output. And if you look at the back here, because it's using an output transformer, much like Audio Research tube amps or Macintosh tube amplifiers, you've got a choice of 4 ohms, 8 ohms, or 16 ohms, and that's your ground. So you connect it to whichever impedance best suits your speaker. And then, of course, if you look over here, you can switch between balanced or unbalanced by simply pulling this out and putting it over here. And then there's a ground here. So if you are having ground noise at home, by connecting this to your a true ground, it may lower the noise. And of course, your on-off switch over here, that's your fuse replacement over there. A couple of things that's interesting. To bias the amplifier, you do need to take the side panel out, and to replace the input tube, you also have to do that. What's also interesting is that because the amplifier is running in high voltage, whenever you take the side panel out, the amp automatically shuts itself off. So you cannot have the amplifier on while the side panels are off. And over here it says 50 watts push-pull Class A 0 feedback amplifier. Then over here, when you first turn the amplifier on, again, you have to make sure that the power switch is on. And then, of course, it's connected. Then you go to the first step, and then the module, what do they call this? Module, anyway, the meter. I can't remember what it's called. The meter goes on. You can see that the lights come on, and there are actually two meters, actually, if you look at it. There's a red, and there's either, it looks like it's green. And once it stabilizes, you can adjust the bias, something that you should have a technician do because the amplifier does run at high voltage. And what's also interesting is that these meters also help you to correctly optimize the output transformer setting to your speaker. So if you're playing music, so this is what the manual says. If the red needle is substantially greater than the green needle, that means you've connected it to too high and output impedance. So you might want to choose a lower one. So let's say, for example, you've connected it to 8 ohms and the red is going much more than the green, then you will want to choose a 4 ohm. Now, conversely, if the green is substantially more than the red, then you want to choose a higher impedance. So, for example, if it was already connected to 4 ohms, you want to choose an 8 ohms. And that helps you to optimize the connection impedance. Jerry's going to turn the lights off later and shoot a B-roll to show you how sexy and gorgeous this amplifier looks like when it's in dark. When the environment is dark, you can see the meter lights up and it moves as you play music. And also, of course, you can see the lights of the tube. Now, actually, if you look at the top here, you will notice that there are 2 rows of metal rods, aluminum rods. One is that the outer ring protects fingers, if you will, although you can still touch the tubes. You shouldn't. It gets very, very warm. It protects it. And also the inner ring helps dissipate the heat. So it's a really smart way of doing that without having an actual tube cage. So I think that's all that I have to say about this amplifier. Anyway, gorgeous amplifier. Normal retail value is $32,500 US. And we will be selling these probably for about $12,000 US. These have all new tubes, and they're all Nagra tubes that came directly from the factory. They were replaced approximately 4 years ago, but they don't have very much use at all because the client has been very, very busy, and so they are used relatively occasionally. They're dead quiet. When you first turn the amplifier on, you will hear a little bit of a thump. That's normal with the amplifier. When you turn it off, there's also a little bit of thump. Otherwise, that's it. Beautifully made, absolutely gorgeous. I love what Nagra does. All right, we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.